More StarCraft 2. Top left-hand side from OSC Root, our blue Terran player is OSC Root's Kelazhur. I think I said OSC Root twice, but that's okay, because I'm part of OSC Root, so proud to rep my team as much as possible. OSC Root. OSC Root. Bottom right is going to be the red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It's TLO. Checks his bank balance and realizes he can raise from the dead. Whoa! Adzi2k6 strikes down Duddles in a traitorous blow with the Cheer 100. Thank you very much, Adzi. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, dude, for yet another Cheer 100. Sorry, I feel as though I'm always saying the same thing to the Cheer 100s. I'm like, thank you guys, appreciate it, but I really do. Even if it feels like I'm just repeating myself. You guys are just cheering so many 100s. There's only so many words I can come up with and ways to thank you. So I appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome. As I'm pretty sure you know. You don't need me to tell you that, do you? Nah. Pull first from TLO, and he's going to go into a hatchery, but he's going to take a... I mean, it's not an extractor turret. He's going to take double gas. For what, my friend? For what? Roach Rowan, Ravager push? Roach Rowan. Okay, Roach Rowan goes down. Double gas means it is going to be the Ravager variety. As we do just see the initial 4 Zerglings. The idea of these is to try and slow down Kelazhur on the other side of the map. Kelazhur is opening Marines into a factory and probably a reactor for some Hellions here. Now, the couple of Marines will be nice because they'll be very effective at dealing... Well, actually, 2 Marines against 4 Lings is a bit of an awkward fight, and right now the Marines are splitting up. And TLO sees this. He sees 1 Marine over here, the other Marine moving forwards too. If they're out on the map, these Marines could get hit by these Zerglings, and that could be deadly. Or if they just, the Lings run by. No, he's going to go for the Marines. Micro will begin. First Marine going to go down. Second Marine can't micro away from 2 Zerglings. It's just not going to happen, sadly. And that leaves 2 Zerglings to move forwards. And he has time to kill the CC. Well, not kill the CC, but kill the SCV on the CC. So, moves in, and here we go. 2 Lings onto the SCV, and that's going to be delayed. Kelazhur, this isn't going great for him so far. And considering he's about to start making Hellions against what is about to be Ravagers and Roaches pushing across the map, also doesn't look too great for him right here. Moving up the ramp, we're going to see TLO just sees this as well, which he'll be very happy about, I think. We're going to see the fact that Barrack's starting to build a tech lab, looking as though we're going to see a Banshee coming out of this as a follow-up. I'm just going to see, again, these Ravagers coming across the map. The fact he still has the Lings alive, it's pretty cute. He's going to keep 1 Ling here to watch for the third base later. I mean, at this point, the Lings are not really going to do too much else on their own. And TLO surprisingly morphs this Ravager, this Roach into a Ravager. Here comes the Overlord moving forwards, and I think that's got to be a sign that, you know, Kelazhur's got to look at this and be like, oh no, I see an Overlord moving towards my ramp. I know what you're going to do. Reactor is going to get taken down here pretty much instantly. Going to slow down Hellion production to begin with, so now we're going to see the Reactor going to get shot down, and just going to see the Ravagers straight towards the main. They're not wasting any time. Is the factory a good target? Gets rid of the Cyclone, I guess, but he still has to deal with the Banshee that'll come out of the skies. Trade with the Hellions too. I guess the factory is a very interesting target. I guess you may as well take the factory down as you're also taking down the reactor, the depots with it, if you corrosive battle the correct locations. So, yeah, got more corrosive battles. He's killed off 8 workers so far, and Kelazhur, this isn't going brilliantly for him. Cyclone is about to come out. He's going to drop down 1 more, 2 more files. He's actually going to get the kill. I mean, now the Cyclone gets killed as well. 1 or 2 more SCVs potentially also before this Banshee is done cleaning up. This was effective. A factory kill, a depot kill. He killed the Hellions. He's going to get 1 more worker here as well somehow. And then this Ravager's going to fly solemnly up into the sky. 11 workers killed. Now, obviously, the Banshee comes out. Cloak begins. TLO immediately starts up the spores to try and minimize damage. He does not have a 3rd hatchery. But I would not say this is the end of the world just yet. I would not say that this is the end of the world just yet, as you see this Banshee coming down towards the bottom right-hand side of the map. So, Banshee coming towards the bottom right to try and pick off an SCV or drone or 2, obviously, and try and help Kelazhur out in terms of the SCV count. Having to rebuild the factory sort of hurts. That's 100 gas that you don't usually see yourself kind of having to recommit into, I suppose. Banshee does not have the the cloak just yet, so we'll just have to kind of stay on the edge and see what's going to happen. Banshee moving in, and again there is a drone getting picked off nice and quickly. So one drone goes down, Banshee gets pushed away. Only a couple of workers killed overall so far, but Cloak is again still about to finish with 2 Banshees. They're a little bit deadlier than just the one. Banshees seeing what they can do, but again, it's a good defense by TLO. Well played spores. They actually invested into another spore on this low ground. Ooh, that's messy. That's not pretty. All of a sudden, TLO loses 2 of his queens. I mean, this was actually, I was going to say, that's a really nice position. Spore, it's a good defense so far, and then all of a sudden, it all seems to go wrong in like a couple of seconds. As we see, whoa, Kelazhur, 2 more starports. Well, he's just going to say, I've got a lot of Banshees already. Guess what's next? It's going to be Sky Terran. He's just going to go in to kind of liberate a Banshee, and well, this is not something we've really seen for a good long time, honestly. When was the last time you guys saw Sky Terran? Was it this year? I don't think so. This was popular maybe around the summer of last year. I don't think this really works anymore. Zerg players sort of figured out what's good against it. Corruptor's got a bit of a buff. I don't really know if this is going to be a successful sort of attempt from Kelazhur, but I mean, I like the idea. Do something a bit crazy when he definitely hasn't had the best of starts to the game. I mean, TLO's going into all the right kind of responses to begin with, though. Spire on the way. I mean, obviously he hasn't seen this yet. He doesn't know what it is. He's just going to Spire to help clean out the Banshees, and just because he feels as though it's going to be part of his general game plan anyways. So generally what you go for is Spire for Corruptors, and then you go for a lot of Roaches on the ground. Use the Roaches to run by and distract and do damage. Well, obviously the Corruptors are your main fighting units, and they're what's going to be, they're the units which are going to be trading out up in the skies, so... I'm just going to continue working their way through this hatchery, and again, a little bit of damage being done. Interesting low ground hatchery here from TLO. The fact he is still only on 2 bases is problematic for him, obviously, and that's something which could come back to bite him here shortly. He'll just cancel this. I feel as though he's not going to attempt to take a... Where are these guys going? I feel as though he's not going to attempt to really take a... Well, he should just get the mutas up. I mean, he wants to kind of start a hatchery, of course. I like this idea, sort of putting a hatchery in a position where, Kelazhur is less likely to check it. This is good for Kelazhur, though. The fact that he's just got kind of 3 bases against 2 base Zerg. TLO already pulling his drones over to the side, minimizing the damage he's going to take here. He will lose an extractor, which is again annoying. I mean, it's never going to be a fun thing as the Queen's trying to kite backwards. Banshees in high numbers just do so much damage, it's kind of a little bit crazy. Mutas on the way, though, and this is why the mutas are actually a good thing to invest into if you see multiple Banshees. Because now they're pretty much guaranteed to die, so you can see, well, the split up is nice. It will minimize the losses here for Kelazhur, and actually the Overseer cannot keep up. Uh-oh. Banshees. Well, they will run out of energy, at least the first one will. The second one here is not too far behind it, honestly, so TLO should still pick up the kills as Kelazhur turns this around. I mean, this was really not kind of a pretty hold for him back at home the first time, but the follow-up Banshees have done a lot, and they've delayed TLO a lot. Let's see what the mutas get into, because right now there is Liberators producing. There's some Vikings up as well, actually, but he's going to lose 1 Viking out on its own. And so these Lings are going to do quite a lot over here. Now the Vikings starting to kite backwards and more Lings running forwards. I think TLO will probably start to realize what this sort of situation is. Liberators coming in too. Yeah, TLO has to know now that this is going to be a Sky Terran play. So that's where these Lings come in useful. It's going to help him to just pick up a little bit more workers. And again, TLO with the counter-attack to really help himself out. Kelazhur currently has, we see a really nice contaminate on this reacted starport. Kelazhur is struggling to spend his minerals at the moment. Starts up before, already has a 4th CC and still has 1600 minerals in the bank. Just needs extra gas. So as he gets the 3rd base gases mining, he'll also be able to move towards the 4th base gases. And that should be pretty neat, I think. As we are going to be seeing this group of units just heading up towards the upper left-hand side, and again, looking to see what they can get up to. A few Lings just don't jump onto this command center right away. Drop to production has begun as TLO realizes that's going to be something he needs to continue fighting against these Liberators and Banshees and so on. He can only fight in certain locations, though, because of the fact that these missile turrets are going to make life difficult. He's going to fight in the missile turrets, though. Going to give up the mutas to keep pushing forwards. The Corruptors, see what they can do. Nice chasing away Banshees. This doesn't look pretty for TLO, but actually it works out wonderfully. Look at the kills on the Banshees. That's great. Because now Lings are going to be so much more of a problem pushing across, because there's just not going to be much else. In fact, there's nothing to actually shoot against these Corruptors. And look at this, the Contaminate again on the starport is really annoying. The SCV is trying to repair it up. Even as these Liberators pop, though, where are they really going to go? Another Muta comes in for some extra little bit of damage. He's really trying to work his way through this starport. He gets it! The reactor starport goes down. That means way less anti-air production because the reactor is obviously going to produce 2 Liberators or Vikings at a time compared to the tech lab, which will only get 1. And yes, you can lift up and reposition, but that takes a little bit of time. TLO is... What a great game so far. One absolutely fantastic game so far. Back and forth, both players really kind of just throwing stuff at each other and seeing where it gets them. The CC going to be forced to lift. We see Corruptors and Mutalists are working their way through the command center, pushing it back. The 4th base will not be allowed to come in here. A couple of Hellions have come through to help. I mean, the Terran player needs a mineral sink, and that will be these Hellions, and they come in just in the nick of time. And that's why we generally see Roaches being produced rather than Lings. When the game goes into this sort of stage, Roaches obviously will do very well against the mineral sink that is the Hellions, compared to those Zerglings, which is kind of like asking to be barbecued. So still some Hellions pulling back up towards the top here. Queen's coming across the map as well. That's when you know, I think, that Kelazhur is maybe in a bit of trouble, when TLO feels good enough to pull Queens across. Triple CC builds. I mean, Kelazhur just has so many minerals. Why not? He doesn't have anything to lose from building all of these, I guess. So setting this up, Lings continue to run on forwards. We see a couple of Banes morphing in from TLO as well. I'm just going to see a Hellion just roasting away wherever possible too. So nice little bit of a roast right there. We're still just going to be seeing the Lings working their way through this set of rocks. So Lings working their way through the rocks. Still going to see the Liberators being produced a few at a time right now. And again, Hellions, Hellbats all joining up together. And just looking to see what they can do next. 6 libs at a time. I mean, the thing is, Kelazhur was under heavy pressure, but now he isn't really under heavy pressure. He's just... I mean, Kelazhur sort of survived a while, you know. He stabilized. You're going to see Corruptors trying to split up to fight these Liberators. There's a lot of Liberators now, and I wonder if TLO is getting a little bit overeager. He does have transfuses to heal up some of these Corruptors. We'll drop a couple of them right away. Actually, I think he hit the wrong Mutalist right there. But again, TLO, the Queen's actually going to be a little bit of a more stable force to push the Liberators back as well. It's such a weird situation. TLO bringing Hydras into the fray as well. Generally, Hydras are not a great idea against this. You might be like, well, why? It's actually because of how good the Liberators are against the Hydras. Although nowadays, actually, didn't actually think about this. They're actually a little bit worse because the Hydras have more health. So it takes 2 shots, and the Liberator's got nerfed too. So it takes 2 shots to kill a Hydra with a Liberator compared to the one it took in the past. So it actually makes a big difference. You can see right now these Hydras are trading very nicely. Mu's trying to fly in as well. A couple of Vikings going with Siege. I think there's just too much from TLO, surely. A lot of Liberators siege up, and that sort of position is difficult to justify pushing into. TLO going into a Lurker Den. Advanced Ballistics on the way. That is what makes life a bit more difficult as well against like a Terran player, you know. Against a Zerg player with... against a Terran player when you're using Hydras, because then you can't even get in range of the... Liberators even if you want to, as he pushes away this CC to the bottom left hand side, stopping Kelazhur from getting further economy up. This CC also going to try and float into position, but TLO realizing that Kelazhur is trying to take extra bases, is starting to spread out Overlords to chase those down and to stop them from ever landing. So just limiting the Terran player to the 3 bases, which is pretty much 1 base now. I mean, 1 base of minerals, a few bases of gas. I mean, to be fair, I mean, Kelazhur needs gas, but is not going to kind of stand up to... You know, when TLO wants to expand, he hasn't been expanding yet. He's been trading a lot so far. But when he does expand TLO, he'll kind of just have way more potential economy than Kelazhur ever will in this game, I think. Corruptors, Liberators, Mutas, all just flying in. A little bit suicidal to some extent, but there's just so much. The Hydra's pushing through on the ground. Not actually much left in the skies. The missile turrets, I think, are having way more damage than maybe TLO anticipated. Either way, though, well, the missile turrets are still standing. Yeah, the missile turrets are really causing a little bit of an issue. SCV's going down as well as some of the Zerglings do make their way into this mineral line. It looks as though the Vikings will be the ones that have to land to try and clean this up in the end. With a missile turret being targeted, the Hydra to the side is going to try and kill it as well, and he will get that, making this position just a little bit more engageable, maybe even potential caustic sprays in the future, as there's nothing to really push those Corruptors back from there. I guess a few Vikings. Lurkers on the way now too. I don't know about the Lurkers, man, as this was a bit of a mistake by TLO misplacing this Overlord creep. Allows this base to land. He will just send some Lings up to clean up the mules, though. I was going to say, like, Lurkers against the Liberators, like, what are the Lurkers going to do? Like, are they really going to be able to add enough in here to justify their investment? I mean, it's just scan, and he's going to go down this Lurker straight away, right? I don't know if that's really worthwhile. I was going to say, the Plan B is about to finish up here. Hydra's coming in. Should just leave the Corruptors on it to caustic spray it down just to save himself losing much. He kills it pretty fast anyways. So another CC of Kelazhur drops. He's going to start long distance mining. Kelazhur pushing back this creep spread as well. TLO double expanding in the last few moments. This base and this base coming up more or less simultaneously. And still just Kelazhur long distance mining just to try and get something for himself. As TLO thinking about another engagement. There's only one Liberator up in the sky as everything else is positioned on the ground. Kelazhur realizes that this is going to be game. GG's. TLO goes up 1 series down a game to the top left side of the map. Let's hear it if you're going to be cheering on the blue Terran player from OSC Root to start a little bit of a comeback in this series. It is Kelazhur. Bottom right with the 16 pool here on Paladino Terminal. It is TLO. How are you all doing in the chat today? Hope you're all feeling good. Thank you very much for the cheers that did come through during the last game. Let me read these out quickly. First of all, thank you very much. Duddles for the cheer 100 says he sends a single Zerglin into Adz's base and turns it into a Bane to kill 3 Banes, and that ends the game. Then Andyman cheered 100 and said Andyman takes credit for the win. And Andyman with a cheer 1 says, and that was your daily dose of wisdom from Michael Floyds. Thank you guys for the cheers. I appreciate the support and the love you're showing to the stream consistently throughout the day. TLO double gas again. He's going to do the same build. So much more powerful on Paladino because, of course, the Ravagers just reach across the map so much faster. However, Kelazhur scouts this. This feels like my games now. I scout it. What do we do? Kelazhur, teach me, because I fail against this build all the time. I actually feel as though Kelazhur actually was behind, but then he dealt a pretty good blow to TLO as a follow-up. But then he played the Sky Terran, and actually TLO had a pretty good response to the Sky Terran. It was a bit different, it was a bit crazy and hectic, but it worked out for him. I wonder if Kelazhur just gone for a more standard play, he would have been okay if he just like played Bio or something, you know? SCV going to start taking some damage here. CC will be delayed in the next few moments. I almost wonder if he's able to even get this CC finished given this situation. We see the Reaper coming over here. Can he actually save this SCV? I don't think so. I mean, he will go down. After killing the SCV though, so nice little bit of success right there as again the CC will resume to build. The other link being chased away. First roach is popping. I guess the CC will finish. So again, let's see what Kelazhur's response is. Reactors, Marines, Factory starts to build as well. So Factory coming on up, and again, a couple of roaches, couple of Ravagers setting up here and getting ready to go in towards the upper left side to maybe get a little bit more done. Reaper coming down to the bottom right, and we're going to see the 2 Ravagers. Going to pick up the Reaper kill, which is not the end of the world. Nice actual grenade to try and slow things down a little bit at least. We're just going to continue to go up towards the upper left-hand side. This bunker at the front is going to finish building now in a moment or so. So bunker will finish, Marines jump inside of it, and as the factory finishes, a starport will just build instantly. Tech lab on the factory. What if he does he just go into tanks? Oh, this is messy. I mean, actually loses a Ravager here. I was going to say it's messy because Kelazhur is going to lose the bunker, but he kills a Ravager already, which is pretty nice. But now Marines are going down, and Kelazhur just couldn't really repair that in time. And this is a push which has been really kind of problematic for Terran players recently, and you can see it right now. This barracks is starting to get killed. Which obviously isn't really ideal. Nice pick off on 1 Marine. Nice more corrosive bars. Surprised he didn't actually get rid of the reactor already. Maybe a bit of a missed target fire. Gonna get rid of an SCV here. I mean, the tank's on the way up. Does he kill the barracks before then? It's getting very close, you know. SCVs are going to pull in en masse to try and help out. It's actually going to just push the Ravagers away. As you're going to see another corrosive bile. Oh, Kelazhur loses 2 Marines and an SCV to that bile. Very well placed by TLO. I feel this is even more damage than last time, because he's actually going to be able to come up here and corrosive bile down the siege tank instantly. GG for Kelazhur. Kelazhur, you were meant to teach me, man. You were meant to teach me how to hold this, and this looked exactly like my games. This looks exactly like what happens when I try to defend against this attack.